green screen filter's not quite working right. So I can fix that. And while we're at it, let's verify what we see on Twitch. Make sure I'm getting sound and everything. Make sure I'm getting sound and everything. Yep. Okay, I got chatty up. Have we got people are joining still? Alright, let's play with the chroma key. Let's see. That's probably a little better. Stick with that. Alright, that gets right in the way of my... No, that's alright. That looks alright. Okay. Today, my goal is to take the devbetter.com site and the updates that have been accruing on it, test them out locally if I can, and see about deploying them to Azure Web Apps. So, it's been updated to .NET 5 RC. I have the latest Visual Studio preview. .NET 5 should be coming out next month, so we're pretty close to where everybody should be thinking about updating. At least if you're okay being on a current instead of an LTS build. Let's talk about that for just a second. So, 5 LTS current. Let's go here. So .NET Core has a different support style than .NET had. .NET was part of Windows, and so it got Windows support for whatever duration Windows gets, which is quite a long time. .NET Core, on the other hand, has LTS and current versions, and the support level for LTS is 3 years from the last from when it's released. And so .NET Core 3.1 is LTS. It was originally shipped on this date, and so it will end on this date, 3 years later. So if you want that long-term support, you may want to stay on 3.1 for a while. .NET 5, these terms of support end pretty rapidly. So RC2 is what we're at now, which was literally just released 3 days ago. So I'm not even on that yet. I'll probably have to upgrade to that as part of this process today. And it's only good for 30 days or so, so November 10th. And that's because November 2020 .NET 5 is shipping. Now .NET 5 will not be a 3-year release for support purposes because it's a current release. And so starting with .NET 5, releases will happen every November. Every other release will be LTS. Hey Shady, how's it going? And what that means to you if you're an organization that cares about support from Microsoft is that your version that you're on will have support for a much longer period if you're on LTS. But LTS is also more stable. It doesn't get new features and things rapidly, whereas current will. There's going to be a .NET 5. There's probably going to be a .NET 5.1, if I were to guess. And it will have additional features and things. If you're staying on .NET Core 3.1, you're not going to get access to those, right? You get longer support, but you get stability, and you don't get the new features. And so if you want to stay on long term, you basically would upgrade every 24 months in November. So your next update would be on .NET 6. But the latest and greatest will be on the current releases. So it's up to your organization how they want to deal with that, whether they want to update every year, multiple times a year, if they want to stay on point releases, or if they want the long-term support. All right. So let's see, streaming checklist, we're all good. The actual app that I'm going to be deploying today is this devbetter.com website you've probably heard me talk about in the past. This is a private career and developer mentoring program that I run. We've got a little over a dozen members at the moment. It's a real good group. We talk about everything from going independent to interview skills to patterns and coding practices. Whatever's on folks' minds each week, we talk about either in our live sessions or on our Discord channel. And so this is an open source app. You can find the source code for it here on GitHub. And my daughter's actually gotten into software development. She's a recent high school grad, and she's taken a gap year from going off to university to study aeronautical and aerospace engineering. So I always forget aerospace for some reason. So aerospace engineering is what she wants to do and go work for NASA. But because of the pandemic, she's working with us this year doing coding stuff. And so she's made a few pull requests here that are all these Ileana Dev ones. And then one of our members also has this one here. So I want to get these things deployed and update to .NET 5. So that's the goal for today, is get these things moving. The biggest thing that's kept me from pushing these through has been I've been swamped with other work, and they require updates to the database in production. And so I want to make sure, since I have not automated that like I would with a real-world enterprise application, this is using an inexpensive Azure account on my personal subscription, so it's not fitted out with all the things that a proper DevOps team would put in place, which means that I need to be a little bit more careful about what I do with the database if I want to avoid just totally nuking it. And so I'm going to make sure I have some time to think about this when I put it together. And so what that means is that you might see that I'm stumbling a bit today, because this is not the normal thing that I do for most of my clients. There's usually whole teams that are responsible for the deployments to production. And so I'm going to do my best, and hopefully you guys can help me out if I get stuck on anything. The thing that I do have a lot of experience with, and that I'm a fan of, is automating deployments. Right, so this is set up right now so that if I do merge these things, they will automatically deploy, because there is a GitHub action that does that. And so somewhere in here, if we look at this publish action, we haven't done a publish in a little while. Like 10 days ago, we made some modifications. But this is what will publish it to the Azure web app. And if we go look at the workflow for this GitHub action, it's pretty straightforward. It will check out the code, do a build on 3.1, log into Azure using a secret that's stored in this repo, and then deploy here. So that's all there is to it. Now, by default right now, because it's not released yet, .NET 5 isn't available in web apps. So I'm pretty sure that if I merge in a pull request that updates everything to .NET 5, that everything's going to break in production, which is not ideal. So in addition to making production database updates, I also need to manually deploy this thing to Azure as a self-contained package that will include everything it needs for .NET 5. So that's kind of the high-level agenda. So let me think about where I want to start. We need to update it to .NET 5. We need to review these pull requests. I know this first and oldest pull request did not need .NET 5. It did need some updates to the database, though. So let's pull that down locally, have a look at it, see if we can make the database updates to production, and get this one pushed out first, and then we'll work our way up through these in historical order. So this initial functionality review was for an issue to track member subscriptions. So currently I'm using a third-party tool for folks that want to subscribe to devbetter.com, and you can subscribe for some period of time, and then maybe you want to take a break because you're busy and you're not getting as much out of it as you'd like, and then after another couple months you want to come back, right? And so it's not sufficient to say that members have a start date and that's it. They have any number of subscriptions, and there's certain benefits that you accrue based on how long you've been a member, and those should pause when you're no longer a subscriber and then resume when you're a subscriber again. And so what this pull request is doing is basically trying to set that up so that there could be multiple subscriptions with each one having their own start and end date. And so let's take a look at this pull request. So to do a local view of a pull request, I can never remember the steps, so I've got them open here. Basically, go into the pull request, go into the list, find the ID number of the pull request that you want, and then fetch that thing down using this syntax. and pull it out. Now I think I can also do that somewhere. I think in here it gives me an option to do that here. So I can just do GitHub PR. I don't know if I have the GitHub CLI installed or not. So let's try that. Let's see if I've got that installed. So this might be easier. I haven't tried this on this machine, so I don't recall if I have GitHub CLI. Do I? I do. Ooh, that's going to make my life easier. Alright, so let's do this PR checkout then. GitHub PR checkout 106 and try that. Enter. Press enter. Okay. Okay, good. Authenticated. What's that doing in PowerShell? Complete. Okay. Do the thing. Alright, and sometimes it helps me think if I walk and I have a treadmill, so I am going to walk and you'll see me bouncing around a little bit in the video. Apologies. Alright, now why was that not found? This is definitely PR number 106. It told me right here what to do, so this should just work. What's not found? Alright. I don't want to use GitHub Desktop. Alright, I guess I'll go back to my instructions that I had. So, checking out pull requests locally. Here we go. Git fetch origin pull / ID head : branch name. Branch name is just what? Is it master? Switch to the new branch based on this pull request. Oh, I'm going to create a new branch. Okay. So let's do that. Alright, so git fetch origin pull / 106 / head : subscriptions. Is that going to work? Okay. Git checkout subscriptions. Sweet. Okay, so that hopefully worked. Now I can go into Visual Studio, which is already here, and I'm in subscriptions now, which is good. And I can kind of review what's going on here. So let's close all tabs. No, close all tabs. There we go. And we will look at first the subscription entity up here. And let's see, we just have a date time range with the dates for a given member ID that they have that subscription. And a member hopefully has a list of subscriptions, which they do. Now, I would not use a list of subscriptions here typically because I want to encapsulate that. But I'm not going to mess with that right now. I think that'll be fine. So we've got some infrastructure which shouldn't have had to change. Like I've got a DB context here. Probably doesn't need a DB set of subscriptions, but we do have one. So maybe I'm using that somewhere. Not sure if I need that. And then in the web, we added something for managing these. I'm not sure where though. Pages, user. I think it was under admin. Users, roles, no. Account, no, it wouldn't be there. Here we go, subscriptions. So in subscriptions we are able to update and add subscriptions and show how many days they've been a subscriber. So that should be good. Let's try and run this. And it should yell at me that my database is not up to date. At least that's what I'm expecting. Alright, so here we go. I should be able to log in. locally, and boom, it doesn't like that at all. So I don't have any database. Let's fix that. So in here we can do .NET EF database update, maybe? And it doesn't like that because I have multiple projects and I need to tell it where the things are. So it's also not going to like that my web server is still running. So I'm going to kill the web server. And then inside Visual Studio, I like to keep my big long EF scripts handy for things like .NET Database Update. And that's going to be that one. And it says here, run this from the web project folder. So let's do that. So I need to go into source, into web, and then paste this in. And that looks right. So let's see what that does. Hello, Aztec Consulting. How's it going? That looks successful. Alright, so I don't know if that seeded my database, but let's go have a look at it. SQL Server Explorer. Today is a good day. Yes, happy Friday, everybody. devBetter web app. That looks like the one. Look at that, it's got subscriptions and subscription dates. Okay, good. So we built that out. So we should be able to run it again. Or hopefully when we run it this time it works. Alright, log in. Try this demo user account. That seems odd. So I thought I just set up the database. Is there no ASP.NET users? Oh, I guess I haven't actually done a database update on the identity DB context. So this one says run this from the infrastructure project to update identity. So I do need that. And so that's because I've got two different DB contexts in here, one for login and one for everything else. So this is in web. I'm going to go to infrastructure, paste this in, database update, identity DB context. I see the topics on .NET 5 app on Azure. That is the plan. I got to get there first. So I've got a couple updates to make before I get to the .NET 5 update. Build failed. Why did the build fail? Okay, build succeeded. I think you lied. It should fail again, right? Because I didn't change anything. Assuming an app service, are you using app service extensions to install .NET 5 SDK? I'm going to try and do a self-contained deployment, probably from Visual Studio. Eventually, I want to be able to do it from GitHub Actions, but I haven't been able to find how to do that just yet, or if that's even possible. So I will be looking into that, but I know I can do it from Visual Studio, so if I need to just do a manual publish from Visual Studio, that's what I'll do. It would be great if it told me why the build is failing. Oh, that's why. Alright, so I'm using Kestrel as my web server, and it's running, and so it can't build. Back to here. Now let's try this one more time. Identity database. Assuming app service. I'm not using app service for containers for this one. It's just a standard app service. That worked. Okay. Hopefully you're not going to tell me I can't do a self-contained deployment to a regular app service. I'm pretty sure I can. Okay, with that, run it one more time. Log in one more time. See if we have a table this time. Inval. Hey, that's progress. Trying to remember, did I seed the data as part of this? Account, login. Let's go look at this database. I think I might have to tell it that it's, if it is seeded. It's not seeded. Alright, how do I seed this thing? Put in a DB context seed demo user. Right. Okay, where do I call this thing from? It's in program.cs. Alright, so when I ran this thing, it should have done the seeding, right? So it would have logged out user role data already exists to debug. I'm not capturing debug though. An error occurred while seeding, it would have said, which it didn't. But clearly did not populate my test data. Alright, log info, seeding database. It should have done that, right? Launch the site. Am I just blind? Where's it going to say seeding database? Like somewhere in here, we should have had that output. Yes, I mean self-contained .NET Core runtime. Simon Gearing, how's it going? I need another set of eyes. Somebody tell me why when I run this... Ooh, I know why. I know why, because I'm in a private method that's not actually being called. Alright, so I just need to call that. I'm just going to uncomment that right there for this one moment. And get rid of this. And do it one more time. Now it's seeding the database. Now we're happy. Alright. At that point I can log in. And now it wants me to confirm my email. Right. Okay, good. That was what I expected. So I can come back here, go here, tell it, of course my email is confirmed. Alright. Come back to here. It's just trying to send an email, but it doesn't have a localhost email provider. It's fine. Bam. Okay, we're in. Now I should be able to go find... I'm not an admin user. That's the other problem. So I need to log in as an admin user. Log out. Log back in. I think I want admin at test.com. Same password. Now I can admin. Let's look at demo user. And we get an error. Because demo user is not a member, maybe? I don't know. Should track this down. Lurking is playing a mobile game while streaming. Nice. Alright, so this tells me hitting admin user null reference at line 84 of user CSHTML. So let's go debug this. Pages, admin, user, line 84. It's going to be right there. Subscriptions. It's got to be that member was null, right? So what should we do if member is null? I mean, I can't list their subscriptions at that point. I could create a member right here, but that doesn't really make sense. A user becomes a member when they register, but it's possible to register as a user and not be a member. So really at this point, this whole subscriptions list should just be an empty list. So this becomes a list of subscription, and if it's empty, then all this stuff works fine. So I think I just want to say here var subscriptions equals new list of subscription, and this should really be a view model. We'll get to that. This was done by a relatively junior developer, not by me. If member is not null, then we're going to go get their list of subscriptions here. Like that. And fix the indenting. Apparently I've updated it to 2 characters. And that hopefully does the trick, except that var goes away. See if we can build. Alright, now the trick is, this is a pull request. Can I commit to this? I think I can. Let's try before we go any further with this, because I don't think it was off of his fork. Why can't I? Oh, it's the new git changes. Alright. Let's do, well, let's only stage this. And check for null member, commit. Alright, and can I push it? How do I sync this? Here, push. But now it's going to be in its own subscriptions branch, I think. Yeah, so now I've got to somehow merge that into this other branch. Alright, we'll figure that out. Let's see if this worked though. Let's close that and get rid of this and start it again. And if we admin now this person, they have no subscriptions. Okay. They're in the members role. They really ought to be a member. You can add a subscription. This will probably give me the same error. We'll save it. Boom, you're still not a member. Alright, so I think I just want to create them as a member at that point, because I should be able to add them and have it create the member record with it, which currently happens in register. So let's fix that and then we'll get this thing done. So in register, I think, areas, identity, you register, and at some point I say you're a member, and that gives you access to the profile. And when you go to the profile page, if you're not already a member, it creates it for you right there. So I can do this anywhere I want. So I'll copy that, I'll go back to user, and greetings programs. Hey Harold, how's it going? In here, on post add subscription, that's it. There's my specification, there's my member. If this is null, I just want to create a member, right? I need that member registration service, and I need the user ID. So that's easy, that's user ID. And this is if member equals null, go sign them up. Do that. Member registration service is going to look an awful lot like this one. This thing's longer than I would like already. User role membership service is different from iMember registration service. And you should have that. And I have to update Visual Studio to use my underscore convention. Get rid of that. Alright, now I've got that service, I should be able to do that. Alright, so let's test this out one more time in production. Or not production, but ooh, what did I do there? Sorry about that. I have OBS open up. Alright, so hopefully you can see the screen again. And let's run it one more time. Let's go to admin, let's go to this user, let's view his subscription. He has none. Let's add a subscription for right now. We'll save it. And it tried to send an email. It tried to send an email because it registered. That's fine. But I think it worked otherwise. So I really ought to just start my email container. But let's refresh this. See if it actually added the subscription. Did it? I think it did not. Because registering a user failed, which blocked the rest of that task. But now, the user is registered. Let's see if it works. Yes. Alright, cool. What if I try and add another one at the same time? Oh, you can totally do that. Okay. That probably shouldn't work. But you know what? I'm going to not worry about that. I'm going to say this is good enough for now. We'll add some business logic later. Okay, so let's go back here. It was from his fork. Alright, so if I accept this, I need to figure out what I need to do to the database based on the migration. And there's a way to do that. Let's see, we'll get rid of some of these. Did that already. I want to be able to run the update to the database schema here. And I can generate that using .NET EF migrations, I'm pretty sure. So if we come back and look at our migrations, they're in infrastructure data. And these two were added. These three. So these last three were added. So I want to do .NET was it EF migrations generate script, and I want to do it between 2 points in time. So I've got the tools, did all that, evolve your model, add the migration, do the update. Okay, applying migrations, managing migrations. Okay, so I can do migrations list, that's fine. I want to get the script that's the difference from A to B. Following generates a script from to. Alright, cool. So I want to do a script from this to that, and I want to output it. Okay, so let's put that there, and grab that, and that. Okay. So I want .NET EF migrations script from, I don't think I need the date stamp, update member project Euler to current. If I just give you one, will you give me the whole thing? Pipe that to test.sql. Or actually, let's call it upgrade.sql. Alright, so there's my upgrade.sql. What's that look like? Build succeeded, build started, more than 1 DB context. Not happy. Alright, so let's go here. And migrations, I probably want to run this from web, and I want to say all these things. All that. So let's come back here, cd cd back into web, do .NET EF migrate, well, just up, that one. But I want to paste in all this other stuff. So there's my app DB context, there's my infrastructure project. I'm not sure I need that. Oh, I do need that, so we can find the DB context. There's my connection string, there's my upgrade SQL. Let's try that. hit enter. Alright, maybe it worked. Okay, over here, there's my old upgrade SQL. I don't need that one. The new one is in the web project. That's right here. And it says build failed. And that's because this thing's running again. Alright, so close down the web server. Delete this again. That's why it took so long. It was timing out, trying to open that file. Alright. This should be pretty close to instant. There it goes. Third time's a charm. Look at that. Build started, tools, info. I wonder if I need to turn off logging. Those log messages might mess me up. Alright, so subscription dates, subscription table. Aside from the little comments here at the top, this looks good. So I think I can get rid of that and take all this. So I'm going to copy this and we'll go try and update production with that. Let's go out here. Let's see, how do I do a backup of this thing? Just to make sure I can come back to it. I can restore. What does that do? Point in time. What's my point in time? I don't know. Choose a restore point. Latest backup time, which is 6 minutes before the current time. Well, that's cool. If this thing's backing up every 6 minutes, that should be good. Okay, well I think I'm okay then. Alright, so let's push this thing to production first, and then if production blows up, we'll apply the script. Right? So if I come back out here, and I merge his pull request. So merge the thing. Yep. Okay. Now I want to create a pull request from mine. So pull request. Let's see, I don't have anything outstanding that I want to send, right? What did I do here? I do need that. Okay. Create member if needed. Stage just that one. And push that. That's on the subscriptions branch. Different topic from NeoAshi. If you're using Cosmos DB, then there won't be any migration artifacts. Is that true? Backup is incremental and ought to be done on Azure on SQL DB. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was on my basic, like, almost free database. That's why I wanted to verify it. NeoAshi. Cosmos DB won't be any migration artifacts. What are migration artifacts? What are you referring to? Do you mean the schema? Because if you're just using the document DB part of Cosmos DB? Alright, I want to create a new pull request just to get my subscription bits out there into master. I could just merge them into master. Can't automatically merge. Why not? This ought to be totally doable. But, alright, let's find out why. Conflicting files, alright. I probably want the one I told you to do. There's all kinds of junk here. That's not cool. This does not look like it belongs inside of this DTO. Alright, subscription DTO. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, let's start at the top. I don't know why this is like this. Alright, I definitely added this member registration service. So in my branch, I said do all this. In the other branch, it doesn't have that service, and total days in... Yeah, I think I want mine. So get rid of master. You probably could have auto-merged this for me. Get rid of subscriptions. That looks okay, right? Oh, I probably touched it all because of the indenting. That's what the issue is. Yeah, okay. Subscriptions just had this. There's a whole lot of stuff here that says if user ID return not found, current user is user manager users. Is that in here? It seems odd that all that is added there. Shoot. I feel like I'm going to mess this up. If I just take whatever subscriptions has, that's what we just tested locally. The worst thing that happens is I have to revert. So keep subscriptions, nuke master. And if I have to fix it later, I'll fix it later. So again, here we're going to keep subscriptions. And we're going to nuke master. We're going to hope that that works in our favor. There's probably some functionality I'm getting rid of here. I shouldn't be, but I think at least we end up with valid C#. So let's say that's good. Commit the merge. Let's see if this thing builds. I do want to wait for this build, because if I screwed up that manual merge, it's going to not be good to deploy. Okay, so with Cosmos DB, do we have to do DB migrations with EF Core? Maybe. Cosmos DB lets you do databases with or without table schema. So I'm assuming you're asking if you're just doing document DB stuff with Cosmos. If you're doing document DB Cosmos, then I wouldn't see why you would need to do any kind of schema migrations. Moment of truth. Why are you doing this again? You already set up .NET Core. Overall, I've been really happy with GitHub Actions. It's a lot less overhead than Azure DevOps integration with a GitHub repo. The only thing I wish it was a little bit faster, because like I don't need to install .NET Core 3.1 every single time. I should be able to just grab a build agent and say, hey, I want .NET Core on it, and it should just work. I think since I started paying for an organizational account for devBetter.com I probably have that option, I just don't know how to set it up yet. Haven't looked. So maybe I'll go take a look at that. This .NET Core GitHub action probably could use a built-in agent that already has Core 3.1 installed, which I'll do just in time for me to need .NET 5. Okay, if you're using NeoAsha, if you're using SQL API and EF Core repos, then definitely you need to use migrations because you're still using, I mean, it's basically just acting like SQL Server. It's got tables and columns and primary keys and all the relational stuff, so you're going to need to update that schema when you make changes to your model. Build succeeded. Sweet. Alright, so I should be able to come look at this and commit this to master, and it should deploy. The squash and merge is probably why my history is getting messed up. I'll fix that eventually. Alright, so that should push out to the publish action, and at some point this thing's going to just blow up. And it's still working, so that's good. Alright, this will take a minute. Alright, so when that deploys, what's going to happen is the version of .NET is not going to match, or sorry, the version of the database is not going to match the version of the code. And I'm going to have to take that script that I generated, which we can go get over here, copy that, and I think I can just run that on Azure over here. Let's see, I don't have any subscriptions, right? Alright. So if we paste this in, it should work. Members, GitHub URL, it's already got that, so I shouldn't need that one. Members, user ID, and varchar not null. That looks fine. And then we're going to create subscriptions. Alright, so if I run this now, this shouldn't break anything. So let's do that. Let's see if this works. Alright, cool. Let's refresh. We got tables, subscriptions, subscription dates. Yay. Go over here. Site still loads. Cool. Alright. That's still pushing out, but that's fine. It might need SQL command mode. Simon tells me to be careful, and I noticed that too late, but it looks like it worked. Alright, so now let's look at my next pull request while that thing is pushing. So this leaderboard PR needs to be updated and resolve conflicts. That's always fun. So let's resolve here. That's not bad. Right. Literally just whether or not to include link. I don't think it's going to hurt anything to include those namespaces, so we'll just do that. Then DB context. We added books and we added subscriptions. Of course, they went on the same line. I want both, so We'll do that. And a snapshot. I really don't care about this snapshot, but I think I want both here also. So we want to add book member and subscription. And then down here, I want to add, that's not going to work. I can't take both of these. It's confusing the script the SQLDB project DAC pack generates. Yeah. Alright, how do I merge this? This is a different thing. It's archive video. Should have one question. I think it just needs this guy on it. And it's good. It seems like this one's being shared somehow between them, but I can't edit this, can I? Oh, I can. Alright. So at that point I just need to say this, 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 and that one's done. Like that. And then this other one hopefully goes like that. I don't know. We'll see. It looks close. I don't really use this DB snapshot anyway. Alright. So now I need to get pull request number 134 locally. I thought this was the one that updated us to .NET 5. So all of you that tuned in to see .NET 5 stuff, here's your chance. So there's .NET 5 as part of this PR. And I know if I just merge this into master that everything breaks. Because when I push this out to Azure, it's not going to support it. The purpose of this is to add a set of books that someone has read, and then have a leaderboard that shows who has read the most books from a certain list of books. So that's the intent of this pull request. Let's see if I can get it locally. So I lost it. GitHub, check out pull request locally. Like that. And do I want it to be the same branch name that it was? I think maybe I do. Let's go. This is from her PR, so it's not going to work. Alright, so I need it to be, let's see. What's left here? Program CS, which I want to revert. And then an upgrade SQL, which is almost impossible to read. So let's go over here. Let's just undo these changes. I don't need them anymore. Sure. Go away. Delete that. Alright, now I got no changes, so I should be able to do my checkout of this branch number 134, and that is get fetch origin like that. 134. 134. Didn't have numlock on. And this is books. Boom. Fetch or check out books. Alright, so that should work. Let's just do a .NET build straight away, see what's broken. Error, typer namespace, value object cannot be found. What? Alright. Okay. That is the error. thought at one time I had a value object. Maybe I got rid of it. Let's just get rid of that. It was a devbetter.core.shared kernel, and that's right there. And value object got removed at some point, which is fine. So okay, and so here's where I tried to merge things and I screwed it up. Do I need another one of these? Is that it? Yes. Okay, good. So I need to do a database update for here, but I also need to merge master into this. So that might be challenging. Let's see. Git checkout master. It's fine. Alright, so I need to commit the changes I just made before I can switch to master. I want to pull latest on master, make sure I've got it all. I want to go back to books, get merge master into books. It says it's already up to date. Really? Alright. The reason I question that is that you don't seem to have the subscription migrations, which I thought you would have. So let's try doing a DDB update from the web folder. And it doesn't work, even though it done a build worked a minute ago. Possibly null reference. Okay. Oh, right, because we turned on nullable reference types. So register in areas identity pages. Okay, it's probably something I just added. So in here, in areas identity pages, register, yada yada, line 77 or so, right there. That's not me, someone else did that. What will you take? A string. That string could certainly be null, so this could be a possibly null request with a possibly null HTTP context with a possibly null connection with a possibly null remote IP address. .toString. Is that going to work? I can suppress the issue. That's not going to help though. Alright, I thought all those things would help, but maybe not. Do I have to do request dot this dot this bang? Now you're happy. Alright. I mean, it should always have a remote IP address. That shouldn't really be a risky thing. I'm not sure why my question mark approach didn't work though. That should have worked, I would have thought. Alright, now let's try one more time. Already have an object. Okay. Create table, archive videos. Alright, so now it's just confused about which migrations it should or shouldn't have. Alright, let's go find the migrations. DB context, question, archive video. Why is this in there twice? We're saying a question has ID and archive video ID, and then down here we also say question has an archive video with many blah blah blah. That seems duplicate. Members only there once, books there once, archive video is there once. See you, Niyashi. So the thing about migrations is they get out of sync and then they're just a pain to fix up. And I can't remember what this thing is supposed to do. So let me Google that real quick unless somebody wants to tell me. FDB context model snapshot. FDB context model snapshot. What does this thing do for me? Current state of the model stored in a class. It's added to the migrations folder when it's first created and updated. Enables migrations server to calculate changes required to bring the database up to date. Used to be this is in the database. When the snapshot was saved as part of each migration, it was possible to delete a migration, and in doing so the snapshot was deleted. If you delete a migration file, the snapshot and migrations will be out of kilter. For this reason, you're advised to get yourself in the practice of only ever using the remove migration command. Alright, so if I get rid of the snapshot, like this, and then we just do a new one of these, .NET-EF migrations add fix up. Should figure it out and sort it out for me, right? Okay, got a new context. Looks like that worked. I don't know what this thing did. Did everything. That seems unlikely to work. Yeah, I don't think that was what I wanted to do. Get rid of those again, see what it does. I might have to restore what I started with. See if we'll do just a .NET-EF database update without it. And we're back to this error. Alright. Simon, as someone who needs arguing with EF.NET 5 all day trying to get my repo to persist related audit child records, I'm getting close to switching to Dapper. I know. Not convinced if the overhead is worth it. Someone who's been arguing. Yeah, no, I know. My usual solution to this is to just delete all the migrations and start over. Okay, so why is it trying to create archive videos twice? That's the question. Right? Like, plural. So if I do Control-Shift-F, archive videos, here, there's a DB set, there's a designer, here's my initial, right there. So my initial migration, for whatever reason, is after these other migrations. I think because these are for subscriptions, that's why. I know why. Okay, I know what happened. So this really needs to happen earlier. But the dates got out of sync. Thank you for the follow. Alright. I wonder if I do just nuke it if we think we're good. Then it won't give me an update that I want though, will it? What if I rename this initial to put it before the subscription entity? Let's see, how many? I don't want that. Where's my find? Find archive videos. So initial has it. Initial has it. Only initial has it. C data does some stuff, but it's in all these designer files. But this create table, maybe I just need to delete the database. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's as simple as that. So let's try that. Just delete my local database. Close. Okay. I'm not going to do that in production, but let's see what that does. Because, you know, it is already there. That's true. Let's try this again. Hacker, yeah. That's why I hate migrations. And you have to worry about what's in the table too. Not if I delete the database. Okay, new error. So, this is so hard to read, and this does not make it better. Failed executing db command parameter, command type, text, command whatever, exec rename member GitHub URL. Alright. That thing I don't think I need. That was part of one of these other ones. But it was already taken care of. Is it here? There we go. Rename column. That can go away. Pretty sure I don't need that. Alright, so do that. You can see why I've been putting this off. It's just painful. Oops. Try it again. Delete. Close. Okay. Try that again. Boom. Cannot find object members. Does not exist. There really ought to be a members. Find the object members. No, there's nothing. The art of writing good DDL scripts seems to be dying out. Good developers can do the DBA bit too hard to find nowadays. That's true. The problem is that the migrations are based on what occurred before. Change the file name on initial and make it first in the list. Yeah, I think that is what has to happen. Because these other three needed to happen after that. So if we do this to say it was a month earlier, then delete everything again. We'll see if that works. The problem is that the order in which I'm accepting these PRs isn't necessarily the order in which the code was created, and different developers worked on these independently, and the time when they worked on them is obviously different. Alright, so database is gone. Database update one more time. It's going to have to rebuild. Boom, same issue. Initial should create members, right? There's members right there. There's a way to tell it to do an update of just initial, right? I can say applying migrations, update, following updates to a given migration. So I can update just to initial. Let's see what that does. Here's database update, initial. And let me nuke the database before I do that. Do you need all the migrations? No, probably not, but I do want to keep a migration that'll let me go from the current to the next, because I want to be able to script just from where it is before this pull request and where it is after. So I can certainly roll up these 4 into one, but the book member and book stuff I want to add. Otherwise I'll have to do some kind of schema compare against what's out in production, which I would like to avoid. Alright, so shoot. You have database update initial, that's what I wanted. Initial. When I've worked on years ago, I read the DDL into the VB6 apps when a customer got a new version of the application, updated the database by running the DDL to update the database. Yeah, that does work well. mhacker trying to wrangle an Angular UI to Web API to SQL Server. Yep, that's kind of what I'm doing. Members does not exist, or you do not have permissions. What is the actual thing it's doing here? Failed executing command, declare, constraint, interjoin, something, constraint. That is some ugly code. It's saying it's applying the subscription entity, not just initial. I tried to tell it to just do initial. So it seems like it might have worked for initial and failed later. Let's find out. Database, devBetter app, tables. There's no tables here, except for this one. And you say you did nothing. Alright. Yeah, so I mean, I can just nuke all the migrations and start from scratch. And at some point I gotta reconcile that with production, which is what I'm trying to get to, is pushing this to production, which sucks. And I might have to run some schema compare with production, or at least cherry pick the scripts out of here that I need. That's probably the way to go. I'll just build the whole script and then cherry pick. Alright, so let's do that. Let's just nuke this whole thing, including the migrations folder. Boom. Let's come over here and nuke this whole thing again. Now we're going to create a new migration. Do my identity ones, they have a separate migration folder, right? Yeah, so these shouldn't be affected. They're going independently. Alright, .NET EF, migrations add, database, migrations, add, initial, again, I like that name. Let's try it. Comment them out, leave the files. No, I don't leave those files. I'll get source control for that. .NET EF. Oh, database migrations. Oops. Migrations. There. With an SQL project, for example, we could publish that to update the DB versus migrations, 2 different techniques. Correct. You can also use like Redgate SQL Compare, or Visual Studio SQL projects have the DB Compare. Store procedures, I don't know about underrated. They have their place, but their place is not doing CRUD on standard entities. That's a waste of time, unless you just generate them all. Alright, I should probably also update my .NET SDK while I'm here, but let's get this to work first. database update. See if this works this time. It should. There's only one migration. Yay! Okay. So that's good. So now, theoretically, I could run this locally, and it would let me manage books and whatnot. So let's do the SDK update real quick. .NET 5 SDK. Windows. Install. Hopefully this thing doesn't require a reboot. That's always a pain when you're streaming. Yeah, SQL Compare is a nice tool, although I honestly haven't used it in probably 10 years. So it's been a while. It does require a reboot. Great. Well, we'll see if we can get by without it. Install was successful. Look at that. Done. I think maybe because I already had RC1 installed, I escaped. Alright, so we got RC2 now. Which means if we come back here, we do .NET -- version, we're on RC2. We'll do a .NET build. Everything's good. Okay, so what do I gotta do to upgrade? Updating to RC2 .NET 5. Just tell me the build number I need on my libraries. Alright. What's my build? Is it that? Let's go look at my current, let's just say web. You're looking at RC1 star. Oh, so maybe I just need RC2 star. RC.2. something. That's easy enough. So let's try that. RC.2, RC.1. RC.2. Replace them all. Okay, and infrastructure needs some of that too. RC that, replace them all. Alright, and I don't think core had any. Would hope it doesn't. Alright, but I have tests, and they have nothing. Okay, so let's build all the things. Yeah, when you do the VS 2019 update, you have to reboot. I did that previously. Yeah, and I can do the SQL. I just don't like to have to deal with it if I can avoid it. It's like really low level when I can use a tool to do a compare for me. Alright, so if I look at my Git changes, I nuked migrations, added new migrations, and updated my project files. So let's say we nuked migrations, updated to .NET 5 RC2 dependencies. Commit all the things, push all the things. Alright, now if I want to do a database update with a script and compare that to what's out there, I think I killed my thing that was using that. Alright, EF migrations generate script was what I wanted. That was here, that was here, and that was that. So if I do this from specify 0, if no one had been applied, what if I want to see what it would do? can make item, ooh, that's what I want. If I make idempotent scripts, check which have been applied via the migration history table, which should still work. Only apply the missing ones. No, that's not going to work because I nuked all my migrations. Apply migrations at runtime. It's possible for the application itself to do. No, I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm doing. Alright. I think I can do the script, but I might have to delete the database to get it. So let's see. Git status. That's all good. Let's go back to the web project and run our .NET EF migrations. No, database update. .NET EF migrations database. I guess it's just script, isn't it? .NET EF. It's not database. .NET EF migrations script. So it's .NET EF migrations script. And I think I want -- idempotent. But we'll see. And I want that to go upgrade.sql. Huh, that was helpful. So why can't we build? That's annoying. I built in Visual Studio. You all saw me do it, and it worked. Alright. RC2 depends on Microsoft Razor language, RC2, but Microsoft ASP.NET Core language, RC2 was not found. Best match was this RC2. Really? 4075 versus 466, that's your issue? 20451, 20451, 20475. Alright, do I just put 2475 whatever everywhere? This shouldn't be happening. I hate this part of dealing with RC stuff. Alright, so if we do that, let's see what people say to do to fix that. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Humph. That's annoying. Alright, so I'm on 407.9.15. This is looking for 4.7.3, which depends on 4.6.6. Yeah, but the .NET Info is the SDK version, not necessarily the NuGet package version, right? If they didn't rev all their NuGet packages to be the same, that's going to not work. Let's see what they've got. Maybe they publish them all. Templating. Alright, you've got 4.7.3 and 4.5.3. Those are my choices. Well, RC 4.5.3 is RC1. So RC2, I've only got one version I can pick. And it's not 479. 473 depends on Razor language. 466.1 was not found. You've got 475.17 from 3 days ago. Okay, 417 was resolved. Why is this an error, right? An approximate best match was resolved. Okay, well, if it was resolved, then why is it an error? Must be because I have warnings set as errors. I think that must be what it is. Alright, so that was in which project? devBetter web proj. So if we go to devBetter web proj, treat warnings as errors, that's my problem probably. Let's just make that false and see what that does. Okay, I get more errors. Approximate match was used. This is supposed to be a warning though, not an error. devBetter web, treat warnings as errors, is false. It's from 2017. Right, I'm with you. What does Fowler have to say on this? I think it doesn't work like lots of other package managers. Alright, well, we may as well tell people about this for when they run into it. So we'll get some good karma by telling other people about this issue, even though it doesn't help me any. And to manually delete your object in bin folders. That's not a bad idea. So let's do that. Let's go. Object bin, nuke. Do that everywhere. I have a script for this somewhere. Does it all in PowerShell. It's good for really nested ones, but there's only a few here. There we go. Let's try our tests, which I probably need more of. Alright, so now everything's clean. What are you lolling at, Simon? Batch file for saying, yeah, because Visual Studio is clean, doesn't actually clean. Okay, now it's fine. And now it did treat those as warnings. Well, that's good. What about you, Visual Studio? How do you feel about it? You can do the same? Nope. It's only test that's broken. Test probably has treat warnings as errors. Aha. Save that. I wonder if I need to delete these somehow. And then rebuild. Coolness. Okay, so I've totally forgotten what I was trying to do. Do I have a database? Can I run this thing? I think we're upgraded to .NET 5 RC2. And I think we have books and book members. Alright, so this is looking good. I think I want to do a commit here. Don't need that. Do need that. Stage that. Upgrade to .NET 5 RC2. Thanks for the follow shell coding. Commit that. And we'll even push that up there. And that worked. Alright, so let's run this thing. And as an admin, I should be able to mess with books, I think. Oh, I gotta run that other migration. Alright, so let me kill my web server. Go back to my handy EF scripts thing and steal my guy here that I need to run from the infrastructure project. So that's here, here, here. That one doesn't break typically. Alright, so that's good. Now we can run the app again. Mads has a VS extension called tweaks that add the cleanup of bin and op. So that's good to know. You got a link to that? Ayurui? This works. That's good. Let's try admin, login. Invalid. What? Oh, I probably didn't have to put the seed in here again. Right? Yep, right there. Seed. Let's try this one more time. V6 gallery extension. Try it. Tweaks. General features. Build. Debug. Editor. Save. Delete. There we go. Delete object min folders on clean. Why doesn't it just do that? Seriously. Yeah, that's awesome. I may have to steal this Ayurui. I have no idea how to say your name. It's a good palindrome, but I may have to use this as a weekly dev tip. I'll try and give you credit, but probably just in text, so I don't have to say your name. Me either. Alright, keep that tab for later. This thing worked. Let's log in. Let's see if we can log in as admin locally. We can. I really do need to run that mail server. Let me do that real quick. Alright, mail server is now running. I use SMTP for dev typically for that. The other thing I really need to do is come down here, look at seed data, and see where it adds. There's books, archive videos. Alright, where do we add users? Program, seed in the database, user manager, role manager, here. Go to there. Alright. Create this user. Default user. Comma. Email confirmed. Equals true. I'm just going to do that from the get-go, so I never have to do this again. Alright, meanwhile, we're going to refresh this, find my users, including my admin user, ASP.NET users. No, I don't want the designer. ASP.NET users, view the data, email confirmed. True. Alright. And all of that to say that now I can come back here and log in. Log in. And it works. Alright, so now under admin, there's a link to books, and there's my book. And I can edit this book, and I can save it. I can view details. It's all good. I can go to a member. I don't have any members. I can go to this demo user, add a subscription, save. It makes them a member, I think. So I go to member, go here. Somewhere off of here there's a way to make books, I thought. Maybe that's in a later one. There we go. Edit the books you've read. Edit this. Select a book to add it. I've read that book. Add it. Boom. Admin updates. Webhook. Okay. Well, it's pretty close to working. Avid Solution 183, how's it going? Thanks for the follow, Ready Orator. Rob, full crowd training will be fine. Okay, I'll try and remember that. Let me make a note of that. Let's see. I'm gonna go over here, email to myself, dev tip, copy that, and copy that. Got it. Thank you. Alright. Is all of VS open source or only parts? I'm interested in seeing what it actually is. I don't believe Visual Studio is open source. I don't think that was ever done. VS Code, I think, is open source, but not Visual Studio. Alright. So in webhook.cs, oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, let's go find this. I think this is only a problem in dev. So, Control T, webhook.cs, admin updates. Is that right there? Options accessor, admin updates. So options accessor is looking for something in my app settings, and that's this thing right here, where it would do a Discord webhook and let me know that somebody updated their books, which is kind of cool. But instead of blowing up if it's null, I think we should just maybe exit or something. This shouldn't be a problem in dev if it's not wired up in dev. I'm not going to worry about it for now. Let's try and get this deployed. Your exception page is pretty... Hey, it's in dev. It's the default ASP.NET Core exception page. What do you want? So I know why this is failing, and that's because I don't have that config. If I just do an invalid config, that should fix it locally. So I can just uncomment this, and you can send all your updates to Google. and it will gladly accept them. Let's try that. Let's close the web app, and let's come back to Visual Studio. Let's run it again. Alright, so where were we? We're going to go here, we're going to add my profile, look at my books. I've already added it there, I could remove it, I could add it. It's sending webhooks off to Google as expected, so that all works. So that's good. So let's make sure I've pushed everything. So close the web server down. We're so close to being able to deploy .NET 5. In fact, that's almost the next thing. Let's see what I got in Git changes. I do want to do that. And that's about it. So let's stage this. Say make users, make seeded users verified email by default. Commit that. Push that. Alright, so that is on my books PR branch. So I want to go and update, and this is where production starts to blow up. I need that script. Did this ever work? No. So we need to make that work. Just go back to here. .NET EF database update. Where's my script? That's the one. I want to run that, but not from this folder. That. Migration script idempotent that. Let's see if this works. Alright, good. Let's open this thing up, and we don't care about the build or the logging, we just care about this. If migration history is null, do that. Add that. So probably I want to just nuke my migration history from production, so it'll add this to it. And then that's not good. No, it is doing all the things. Okay. But it's only doing creates, it's not doing alters. That's not good. Alright, because I want to be able to alter what I've got. So by nuking my migration history, I'm probably going to have to hand update the database, which is fine, I guess. Is there a schema compare extension in VS Code? Does anybody use? I know I can connect to SQL Server here. I want to compare my local to that one. So let's go back out to Azure. So we can close some of these down. Okay, so on here, I want to do a compare between this and my local, I think. SSMS, database project, SQLDB tools, right? So I should be able to just connect this. And let's try a database project in Visual Studio. I haven't done one of those in forever. So let's do that. Or you think SSMS? SSMS is probably actually the better way to go in this case. Let's try that. I haven't done that in a while either. I can't just use this connection string, can I? Alright, so have I connected there before? Not really. So I want to do devBetter database Windows net with devBetter admin and some secret password from over here. Looks like that. Login failed. Alright, do I need a firewall for this? So I don't think I ever turned it on. Set server firewall. Add current client IP. Where is that? Right there. That's already there. Client IP. How do you SQL schema compare different definitions? Good. Thank you. Why didn't this work? Initial catalog, devBetter. Let's see. devbetter.database.windows.net. devBetter admin. Password is the password I just used and it worked before. Yeah, I tried the firewall, right? Came here, set server firewall. Add client IP. It's that one. It's already there, right? So I don't even need to add it. It's the same one that's right here. So that should work. Discard, query editor. Here it is. Password is, oh, I know what it is. That, hang on a sec. Got it. Alright. Make sure I update this in my other password manager. Alright. Cool. Okay, so I'm here. I can see the database. Thanks for the follow, Garbled Knowledge. Thanks for the follow, Val Rossi. Let's open this URL. This says, right here, how to use schema compare to compare different databases. Go to SQL Server, blah, blah, blah. SQL Server Data Tools. Is that in SSMS or is that in Visual Studio? Or is that the new name for SQL Manager Studio? So I think I want to compare that with that and have this guy right there and somehow migrate schema from one to the other. So I can say for this guy I want to do a task of I want to tools migrate to Azure. It's already on Azure. let's read your thing again. Your thing says SQL Server Data Tools. What is that? Simon, you said use SSMS and then you sent me a link to SSDT. What the heck is SSDT? I do not have that installed. SQL Server Data Tools. What is that? Is it in here? Yeah, I thought you could do it from SSMS. I know I've done it before in SSMS. It's just been a while. I can script it. Deploy database to Azure SQL. That's kind of what I want to do. Compare. It's been 4 years since I had to do this. Yeah, I know, right? Right. Isn't that the name of the SQL tools in Visual Studio? I think it is. I think that's Visual Studio's thing. Shoot. I really just want to export this. Oh, this one's got more options. There we go. Export data? I don't really want the data. I want the schema. I want to compare. Right? What's the other SS something something that we used to do all the time to migrate data? Not SSMS, it was SS something S. SQL Server. Can't remember the acronym. Oh, shoot. Alright, so maybe I have to do it in Visual Studio. This is frustrating. If only migrations hadn't gotten borked, but you know what, they always do, right? So, SQL Server Object Explorer, we got this. What if I want to compare this? I want to do a schema compare. How about that? I want to compare that with my target. My target doesn't exist yet. I want to select a target. I want to select a connection that I don't have yet. Recent connections. Show. Can I create a new one here? I guess I gotta connect first, I think. So over here, let's connect. Let's connect to Azure, to devBetter, with that, and that. Menu options, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so we're in the right place now to try and connect to this thing. Create a new... Okay, it's already there. Login failed. Well, what about this one? There's that one. That's not it. And there's that one. That's the one I want. I don't know why the other one's there. I gotta delete it. Alright. So now I should have a target of devBetter database connect. Alright, so that's my production database. Alright. do the thing. I only want to compare schema, not data. It's been a while since I've had to do this, but this looks like it'll work. And bonus, I don't have to go into SQL Server. So I can get out of here. And look, at some point I got some emails on my SMTP for dev. So that's handy. You know, you'd think this would be faster considering there's all of like 5 tables in this database. I don't know what it's doing. It is not burning up my CPU, I can tell you that. "12 years later," yeah, seriously. Is it using up network? That's me streaming, right? That's not anything else. So I'm sending it 5 megabit per second for the stream. CPU's not doing anything to speak of. So any logs? Any indication that you're doing anything, Visual Studio? Nope. I guess we wait. This is what we call exciting programming. Waiting for a connect timeouts. Oh, it's waiting an awful long time if that's what it's doing. That should have been 30 seconds at the most. Yeah, that's there. Alright, it's just slow. Visual Studio is not happy. Look at this, it's not painting the screen. This is what we call very poor UX. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. It's still initializing the comparison, whatever that means. And it's managing to do it without using any significant CPU. I mean, Chrome is using up 6% CPU with something. But Visual Studio is not. I wonder if I did it on regular Visual Studio, not Preview, if I'd have better luck. Hey, the stop button actually worked. That's amazing. Alright, refresh. Hit that, hit that, hit that. There's my thing. Alright. And hit that, and that, and that. There it is. Okay, so that works. It's slow. It's really slow. Why is Azure SQL so slow? Preview Visual Studio has many bugs. Yeah, but this stuff hasn't changed much, right? So, like, from here, it works. I mean, it's slow, but it comes back in a second. And from here, it just spins and spins. There it goes. Alright, so that only took forever. Let's try it again. Compare. We know we're connected. Try and be patient this time. Whoa, look at that. Alright, cool. Now, we made a modification to members, we did that. Okay, I want the script. Give me the script. We got it. Okay. So if I run this script, is it going to delete my existing data? It seems like it wants to create, oh, it's creating a temp. Good, good, good. So it'll move my data to the temp, add the column, and then rename the temp to the right one. Alright, so it's doing the right thing. Create book member, blah, blah, blah. Alright, that shouldn't break anything in production. Or if it does, it'll be minor. So let's keep that handy. I'm not going to push it right now. Alright, we are past my usual end time. I'm going to try and get this deployed to Azure. So, for me to do a self-contained .NET 5, self-contained .NET 5 deploy to Azure, that's what I want. I want this thing, and it says do a self-contained deployment, ASP.NET Core 5, publish, publish, publish. Alright, so we're going to publish. Let me come over here. I can't do it from GitHub Actions, I don't think. I can do it from here, and I can say service dependency. I don't want to do that. Can I create a new? Let's do a new Azure. Someone say DDD. Is it potato skew? Yeah, it is. It's the worst one. Azure App Service. I think I'm running Windows now. I want to say. I don't remember though. They don't make it easy to find out either. There's a get a command line and then you. Where's the kudu link? That's the database. I need the web server. Okay. devBetter app service. Like this ought to tell me that it's running on Linux or Windows, and it doesn't. And instead, to get there, you have to say go to the console, and if it's d: whatever, then we're on IIS, right? Like that's clearly Windows, not Linux. Volume D on Windows. Alright, so I definitely want to deploy to Windows on whatever it is now. Here it's on subscription 2, it's on devBetter plan, devBetter group, devBetter plan. Subscription 2, subscription 2, devBetter group. There. Next. API management. Hang on. Target, specific target, app service. These don't do anything. Oh, that's these. API. Enable API consumption. I don't care about that. Finish. Okay. I don't care about that. Let's see. And do that. Do that. Deployment mode, framework dependent. Deployment mode, framework dependent. Deployment mode, self-contained. Self-contained WinX86. Okay. Databases, nothing. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, let's save that. And let's try and publish this thing. It should be this one, right? Self-contained, netcore 5, do it. Meanwhile, back here, I need to go find that database again, which is this one, and query editor, and say okay, there we go, and go to Visual Studio, right there, and I want this script, copy that. Alright, it's trying to publish. And we're going to paste that in here and give it another look. Deployment script created by a tool. Yes, this code was generated by me. Ha ha ha. Set variables. I hope this works. These are red, like it doesn't want these to work. So hopefully this thing doesn't just blow up when I try and run it. Overall status. Adding file create dump.exe. That doesn't sound good. Restore. To be fair, when you think about how complex it is to get the thing even to work at all, it's an amazing bit of code. Are you talking about Visual Studio? I know you're not talking about my code. My code's not that amazing. Alright, when you mean streaming was around 5, so we're pushing now up to almost 8. So we're sending some stuff up to Azure here pretty heavy. That should drop back down to like 5 when it's done. Boom, there's a drop. Is it done? It's still chugging down here though. Nope, right back up. It's got to push the whole SDK. Oh, the SQL compare schema. Yeah, that is challenging. Agreed. I hope this thing works because it sure has taken a while. I think I have to delete or disable my publish GitHub action. Because otherwise, as soon as I start merging things into master, things are going to go badly. So let's do that. Let's go find that publish. Come on. Go there. Go there. Go there. And we're just going to edit this right here. And we're not going to do any of this publishing stuff. There's no way to just comment out a whole bunch of stuff, is there? Alright. And let's say what we're doing. Shoot. No. Disabled while manually publishing .NET 5 RC to Azure Web App via Visual Studio. Alright, commit that thing. And really I should just get rid of this whole thing, because this isn't going to work either. So, see what changed. Yeah, that's fine. That's what I expected. Alright, Visual Studio, what are you doing? It's still spinning. I'm into System XML. It sounds like we're near the end of the alphabet. Adding file, system private XML. Alright, I don't even know what that is. Simon, yeah, you're probably right. I'm running a really cheap version of the app service and a cheap version of the database, so maybe it is throttling my bandwidth. But it's also true that I'm having to push up a lot of stuff. Now at least we're down to my actual project file, so that's something. Grape juice on ice. Thank you for the follow. Alright, come on. You gotta be close to done. You're pushing up CSS files. I wonder what the app is doing right now. If we go out to here. Yeah, it's really not doing much. Site under construction. Boom. Grape juice. No idea you streamed on Twitch. Hey, glad to have you. Wow, that's my site. Did it finish publishing? Whoa. Publish succeeded. Woo. Alright, now this should blow up if I try and go do anything with books and things, because I didn't deploy those yet. So let's see if we can get that to work. Where were we? Over here? This is going to blow up. Query failed. Alright, didn't like those set vars. I don't think I care though, do I? I think I can delete those. And why does that put those? Detect SQL command mode, disable if SQL command is not supported. Alright, how do I enable SQL command mode? Or can I run it from Visual Studio? Let's just run it from Visual Studio. Here. Can I just run this? Execute on available database. I think that's the right one. Or is that local? Let's try it. It's got to be the right one, right? It's a nice tiny font they're using. Alright. I think it's working. So I don't have to do it from the Azure portal, so that's good. Now that we've gone to connecting from Visual Studio, we can just stay in Visual Studio. There's a button for SQL command mode. Yeah, I know, but it's not in the Azure portal one. Members who have read ID. That's that. This should be the last thing that it's doing. There's nothing in this table, so this should take no time. I think maybe it's done? I think it's done. Alright, I think it completed. Alright, so at that point now, let's see if the site still runs. That's good. I'm going to pull it over here and look at some real data here for a sec. Oh my god, is it slow? Thank you for the follow, Palindrome. Rob. Palindrome Rob. Alright, what are you doing? It be spinning. Perfect. Alright, now that time it came back. So let's see. Can I edit my profile? I can. There are books. I can edit my books. There are no books because I didn't see the database. That's okay. The functionality is there. And if I look at members, and there should be a subscriptions link under admin for someone. There is. Sweet. Alright, everything's working. Nice. So, I think I'm going to say we're done. I need to merge some PRs and do some other housekeeping, but I think that is a stream for today. Let's go just back to the home page. Bring this back up. Find the top of it. There it is. Bring that back up to this other monitor. I've got a vertical stacked monitors here. devBetter.com. That was what I was trying to deploy today. If you're not familiar with it, it's like a group coaching program you can join. Check it out if you're interested in accelerating your career or going independent. And with that, I'm also part of the Live Coders group on Twitch. And this is always loud. There's Lena. She has way more followers than anybody, certainly more than I do. And I'm never on this list. Wonder why. Wonder if it just doesn't show me, or if I'm really not on this list. If one of you guys goes here, or if I go here in an incognito browser, will I show up? I wonder. Because I'm supposed to be there. I'm not there. Alright, I should be there. No wonder nobody ever raids me. My stuff doesn't even show up on the Live Coders list. That's unfortunate. Thought I was in this list somewhere. Be good if there were a search or something here. Anyway, I'll have to figure that out. Let's see what Ed is doing. He's probably about to leave. It's so loud. Alright. I'm going to say have a good weekend, and I'm going to hop over into Ed, who's also doing .NET 5 migration, and I'm working on a book for .NET 5 migration, well actually .NET to .NET Core migration, so you'll look for that maybe next month. But let's go view Ed's full Twitch here. Make me watch the stupid commercial again, and let me go to my thing here, and we're gonna raid Ed because I like to do that. So raid, pick a guy, Ed, start the raid. I'll hop in there for a minute and say hi. Thank you all for hanging out. We finally got there. Are you in the team in Twitch? Isn't showing under your stream, Surly Dev. Well, it should be. I really should be. I will check up on that. Raid now.